Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel, as always, so I have been updating you on a regular basis today of what's been currently going on in the current transfer rumours and all that. Because obviously Manchester United are preparing, obviously to make some signings in the summer. Reports do say that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified the key areas where he thinks basically Manchester United need to bolster up, of course, because reportedly Solskjaer has been in negotiations, with Manchester United over this. Reportedly, Solskjaer has told the Manchester United board that he wants 4 summer signings, reportedly as well. But one of the targets, I think it's actually one of our main priority targets, reportedly as well, is Jadon Sancho. I actually have been updating you about him on a regular basis. To be quite honest with you, because now as it does stand, Solskjaer has identified that he would prefer to recommend a winger to come to Manchester United in the summer rather than a central defender, reportedly as well. So it's obviously we probably won't attempt to we will not attempt to bring a central defender to Manchester United in the summer now, because reportedly Solskjaer has said basically that he wants to give his current defenders a chance to impress and to impress and prove themselves and all that as well. Indeed, so I don't think now we'll get a central defender in the summer according to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority target is that win position as well. So I think that's our top priority now. Is bolstering that win position, of course. But I think Jadon Sancho, has been mentioned. Narratives being going on about it now. For the last 3 or 4 weeks. That Manchester United have reportedly showed a strong interest in Jadon Sancho. Plus he's young as well, and obviously we do expect departures in the summer as well. We have got a few players that are aging up now. It does seem to be, a lot of the experienced players, that seem to be causing us a problem. So it would be ideal, to get some young players that could grow, develop, and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And I think he is one of the main priority targets as Jadon Sancho as well. And he's 18 years of age, as I said. Reports coming out saying that Manchester United are prepared to pay up to the £100 million for him. And reportedly, Manchester United are ready to make a move for Jadon Sancho, reportedly as well. Reports have just come out in relation to Jadon Sancho now. That according to the Borussia Dortmund director, can't pronounce his name, but according to the Borussia Dortmund director, he's dismissed speculation and all that. He does believe, Borussia Dortmund sporting director, that Jadon Sancho will remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund and that he will stay with Borussia Dortmund. So this is what the current sporting director currently said. But I think reports are saying that Manchester United are paying to put £100 million in for him. This obviously would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. Obviously, it would make him our most expensive signing as well, of course, because obviously our most expensive signing at the moment, of course, is Paul Pogba. Obviously, that we paid £89 million for them as well. It also said that PSG have also showed an interest in Jadon Sancho as well, because obviously in the past he's had experience of playing in English football, because he had a couple of years with Manchester City, but he actually never broke into the first team with Manchester City, Jadon Sancho as well. And this is the main reason why he left Man City, and this is why he went to Borussia Dortmund. And that moment in time, Manchester United were actually linked with him a couple of years ago as well, Jadon Sancho, because he has been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now, and since he's broke into the first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good. As I did say, only broke into the England first team last year as well, and he has got immense talent as Jadon Sancho. Shows that ability to attack. He can score goals, he can play balls, his link-up play can be very, very good as well, and plus he's young, so if we could come to an agreement to get him in the summer, we'd get a lot of years out of him. As the company said, he has still got a contract, don't forget, with Dortmund till 2022 as well, and of course Borussia Dortmund financially would make a huge profit on the player, if they were willing to sell him in the summer. I don't think Borussia Dortmund want to sell him, to be quite honest, because obviously Borussia Dortmund do know how much of a central player he is to their team, of course, and reports have been coming out, regardless of what Manchester United offer, I think Borussia Dortmund are reluctant, to offload him. Reportedly, reports do say Borussia Dortmund have warned Manchester United that, basically Jadon Sancho will not be sold, reportedly as well. But Jadon Sancho, when he was a lot younger, I think he actually began his youth career with Watford as well. If Manchester United were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, reportedly it did say it did say reportedly Manchester City would reportedly benefit from this because I think City inserted a buyback clause in his current contract. I think it did say City would receive around 15% of the transfer fee or something like that as well. So there has been a narrative going on about it now for the past 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. Manchester United have expressed a strong interest in Jadon Sancho as well. And I think, do you think Jadon Sancho is a long-term solution, for Manchester United's problems? I'd say yeah, because he's young, he's also English as well, and I think he'd just be a great addition, to the team. And he's mainly a winger anywhere is Jadon Sancho, and obviously that's one of the areas, where Manchester United, of course, need to strengthen up as well. So Solskjaer's now obviously focusing on Solskjaer is focusing on more attacking additions, rather than a central defender, because I don't think now we're going to get a central defender in the summer, according to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said in the media. So there has been change of transfer plans in that aspect as well. Other names that have been mentioned, are also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been monitoring. I have updated you on my other videos today on this. He's also monitored an interest in Douglas Costa as well, as he updated you about him earlier on. I spoke about him, I haven't spoke about him for a while, but his name's been mentioned in the media again. Of course, he's 28 years of age. He's highly experienced. He's Douglas Costa. I think he's mainly a winner. I think he's actually operated as an attacking midfielder before as Douglas Costa. He's at Juventus now. He's Douglas Costa, and through the entirety of his playing career, I think he's been a really, really good player, Douglas Costa, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, I think he struggled for game time this season as Douglas Costa, because I think he's behind Cristiano Ronaldo in the Juventus team, because obviously Juventus paid £36 million for him last summer from Bayern Munich, of course, as well. Well, initially, he was on loan with Juventus last season, was Douglas Costa, but obviously last summer, Juventus made the deal permanent by triggering his 36 million release clause as well. And he's a really, really good player. He's a good, talented player. He shows that ability to attack. He can score goals. He can provide. He's a good dribbler. His crossing ability is a very, very good indeed as well. Of course, he's never played in the Premier League, Douglas Costa. He is age 28 now, or is he nearly 29? So he is aging up, is Douglas Costa as well. But he did say allegedly last year that reportedly Manchester United did put a £54 million bid in. Reportedly, it did say allegedly, Juventus currently turned this bid down as well. And I think at one point it did report that he was interested in a summer move to Old Trafford, Douglas Costa. But as I did say, for the entirety of his playing career, he's been very, very good, because when he was younger, he had 5 good years with Shakhtar Donetsk. He won silver and all that. He had a good couple of years with Bayern Munich as well. Did Douglas Costa, and he's been very, very good at Juventus as well as Douglas Costa. So reports did say he could be available for 53 million in the summer as well. Other players that have been mentioned as well. We also know that Ivan Perisic has been mentioned in the press. And Manchester United, of course, have been long admirers of Ivan Perisic as well, because obviously he's a winger as well, but he actually can play as an attacking mid. He can also, he's actually been deployed as a second striker, I think, before as well. I think he can actually, operate in that position as well, Ivan Perisic. But Manchester United have been long admirers of Ivan Perisic, to be quite honest, because I think there were rumours about him leaving Inter Milan in the January transfer window, of course, because I think he initially put a transfer request in, and even the Inter Milan director did currently confirm, that he did want to leave Inter Milan, because obviously his form hasn't been as good this season in Inter Milan, so he's failed to replicate the form of what he's done in recent seasons, with Inter Milan, Ivan Perisic. So he hasn't really been that good this season, and what I heard about it anywhere. Obviously, we've been hearing that I think the last couple of windows, at least, Manchester United, have been interested in him. Of course, we were in discussions with Inter Milan, and of course, Inter Milan at the time were demanding around £48 million for him. Man United were not willing to pay that £48 million for Perisic, and this is the main reason why we didn't get the pursuit of Ivan Perisic. Of course, he had a good World Cup last summer, with Croatia as well, did Ivan Perisic, but I think Solskjaer's monitored an interest in him as well. I think he's got a contract with Inter Milan until 2022 as well. Throughout his playing career, he has been a very, very good player. He's been at Inter Milan a number of years now, and he's obviously aging up now anyway. He's not young now. He's 30, I think he's about 29, 30 years of age, is the Croatian as well. But Arsenal actually inquired, as I did say, about getting him in the January transfer window as well. I think Inter Milan were demanding in January that they wanted around £35 million for him, or something like that. So they actually, reduced his price tag, to be honest, because at one point they were demanding that they wanted around £48 million for him. But as his form hasn't been as good this season, obviously, Inter Milan, lowered their asking price, of course. And of course, he's Croatian. He is aging up, as I said, and I think he's got good physical attributes. He's good good in the air. He can put crosses into the box as well, and he is versatile. Is Ivan Perisic as well. Of course, throughout his playing career, he's been at likes of Club Brugge. He's been at Club Brugge. He's been at Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, been at Wolfsburg as well. And this is where initially, Inter Milan had currently got him from as well. But I think Man United have still have got a slight interest in Ivan Perisic, because obviously now our signing of a wide man is now our top priority, of course, as well. So we are showing interest in wingers who could potentially, come to Manchester United, and I think Jadon Sancho is the top priority target reportedly as well. There's been other names that have been mentioned as well. There were reports coming out about Gareth Bale as well the other day. I do want to update you on, because obviously he's been linked to a move to Manchester United, for a very, very long time now as Gareth Bale, and we have been hearing the rumours about it since like 2013. Under the David Moyes era. That Manchester United, were linked with Gareth Bale, and it did say allegedly that we were close to getting Gareth Bale in 2013. Under the David Moyes era, and the rumours do continue to persist. With him being linked with a move to Old Trafford. Reports came out of the press a couple of days ago that it reportedly said that Manchester United, it did say reportedly Gareth Bale had reportedly purchased an house in Manchester. It's gone now, this report, but I think it's gone anyway. It was in the Manchester Evening News a couple of days ago that reportedly he bought an house in Manchester. Allegedly, he'd agreed personal terms with a summer move to Old Trafford reportedly as well. Dan Bolton reported, actually reportedly, the Spanish publication, reports did say Real Madrid, Manchester United were willing to pay £60 million for Bale. Reports did say that Real Madrid wanted around £100 million for Gareth Bale, reportedly. But recent reports did say that Real Madrid, do want to sanction Gareth Bale off in the summer, reportedly. Real Madrid do want to sanction Gareth Bale off in the summer, because obviously the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, has reportedly, lost patience with Bale. He wants him out of Real Madrid in the summer. But recent reports did suggest that, Gareth Bale has no intentions of leaving Real Madrid. He's happier with Real Madrid, even though he has initially, fallen down the pecking order and he is surplus to requirements. But recent reports did say, that Real Madrid would rather, do business with Chelsea, reportedly, as well. So Bale could, leave in the summer, to quite honest with you. There's also been rumours of him, potentially maybe making a return back to Tottenham as well. But I don't think Real Madrid, will recoup the initial £85-86 million, they paid for him from Tottenham back in 2013. Of course, he's aging up now, he's 29, he's nearly 30 years of age now, he's Gareth Bale. He's aging up as well. He's still got a really, really good ratio, and he's still scored a lot of goals, and obviously all the silverware he's won has obviously, become come at Real Madrid, as I said, because this is 6th season now with Real Madrid, is Gareth Bale's. Of course, he's got a record of injuries as well, so he is very, very injury prone, so I wouldn't want him at Manchester United anywhere. So due to that, he's aging up and he's injury prone and all that, Real Madrid will not recoup the initial £85-86 million they paid for him from Tottenham. They will find it very, very difficult indeed, and he's aging up, of course, and he's also injury prone, so I wouldn't want him at Manchester United anyway. Even though he's a winger, I think he can actually operate as a fullback well. He at one point, I think he operated as a fullback as well, and he can play on each wing as well, can Gareth Bale, and obviously we're interested in getting a winner in, but I wouldn't want Bale because obviously, he's injury prone, of course, as well. But he's well Premier League proven, he knows about the Premier League, he had 6 good years, when he was at Tottenham Hotspur, did Gareth Bale, he actually began his youth career with Southampton as well, where he'd actually, progressing up the ranks as well. So we know the rumours, do continue, to persist about that as well. What's the other targets we've been interested in as well? Obviously, we know we've been interested in Joe Felix as well. He's been another name that's been mentioned, as I have been updating you about him on a regular basis as well. Joe Felix. Obviously, as I did say, he's 19 years of age. Is Joe Felix? He's very, very young. He only broke into the Benfica first team last year. Did Joe Felix as he did, and he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. Reportedly, he's got a buyout clause of around £105 million. Is it or something like that? Joe Felix. Reportedly, so he would cost quite a bit of money in the summer as well with Joe Felix. I think as I did say, his buyout clause is around £105 million, something like that. Reports did say Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on Joe Felix as well, because Man United scouts have been watching him on a regular basis, because reportedly his performances have been good. He's mainly a winner, but he can play in other positions as well, so he is versatile as Joe Felix, and he did report that Man United have held negotiations, with Benfica over, inquiring about, possible possible summer transfer to Manchester United, for Joe Felix as well. So his name has been mentioned. He's been a Manchester United target as well as Joe Felix. As I did update you yesterday, there was some more rumours going on as well. I think I updated you on it yesterday in relation to Paul Pogba as well. I'll give you an update on, because obviously it did say reportedly, obviously now Zinedine Zidane has just been recently reappointed as Real Madrid manager. So obviously now this is obviously Zinedine Zidane's second spell in charge of Real Madrid, of course, as well. And obviously now I think the glory days will return, to Real Madrid, of course, because obviously now they've got Zinedine Zidane back in as well. Obviously he was managerless since May last year, of course, with Zinedine Zidane, but now he's returned back into management, with Real Madrid. So he's having a second spell with Real Madrid, is Zinedine Zidane, after 10 months of being managerless. He's back in management now, and he has officially gone back to Real Madrid as Zinedine Zidane. So obviously Zinedine Zidane, of course, he's already planning investment, for Real Madrid in the summer, of course. I think reports did say we're going to get around a £300 million spending spree to spend this summer. Zinedine Zidane, of course, because there's still some Real Madrid players, could maybe, leave Real Madrid. And reportedly, reports were coming out yesterday. It did say Zinedine Zidane did tell Real Madrid, to sign Paul Pogba this summer, reportedly. And it did say Zinedine Zidane wanted, Real Madrid, to open up negotiations, with Paul Pogba's agent, Riley Ola, of course, as well. But for me, I don't think Paul Pogba will probably, leave Manchester United, to be quite honest, because obviously he's been one of our most influential players, as Paul Pogba, of course. We paid £89 million to him from Juventus back in 2016 as well. And, since Solskjaer took the reins at Manchester United, we have seen the best of Paul Pogba, of course. Well, I think he looks very, very effective, when he's playing in that number 10 position, does Paul Pogba, as I said. He looks very, very effective in that number 10 role, does Paul Pogba, because he plays them delicate passes through. He gives good service to the front men as well, does Paul Pogba. And he can score goals, he can provide. And I think, when he's playing in this kind of vein, he's one of the best attacking midfielders without a shadow of a doubt in world football, is Paul Pogba as well. So I think we'd be reluctant, to let him leave anywhere, even if, Paul Pogba was interested in, making the move to Madrid in the summer. And of course, do you think Paul Pogba would go play for a club like Real Madrid? To be quite honest with you, I think he probably maybe would, go play under Zinedine Zidane, to be quite honest with you. But, Paul Pogba, I think, is happy at Manchester United. Of course, we want to, somewhere along the line, have talks, about getting Paul Pogba a new contract at Manchester United, because his current deal ends in 2021, as well as Paul Pogba's. I know, obviously, the rumours going on last year, of course, as well. When obviously we had Jose Mourinho, that, he was linked with a move back to Juventus with Pogba. He said that Barcelona had also showed a slight interest in Paul Pogba as well. But obviously at the time, obviously Mourinho was there. Obviously, Paul Pogba had bad disputes with Jose Mourinho and all that, as I did currently say. And obviously, well, all the team didn't really want to play under him, but especially, Paul Pogba didn't want to play under Jose Mourinho. And I think if we'd have still had Mourinho now, I think Paul Pogba, would have probably, left in the January transfer window. But it did say Juventus, were interested in taking him back, there. At the time, Paul Pogba did admit, he actually, were interested in making him return back to Juventus. Obviously, this is when we had currently Jose Mourinho, of course, as well, because when he was younger, he obviously, had 4 fantastic years with Juventus. He won loads of trophies. His performances were fantastic indeed as well, Paul Pogba's. But, we've got the best out of him now, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, because obviously, Real Madrid have actually, got quite a few aging up players, in their midfield. So they may be looking to maybe get some, younger players in their midfield as well. And reportedly, they've identified, Paul Pogba as a possible summer target as well. But yeah, Zinedine Zidane has just, as I did say, has just been reappointed Real Madrid manager, of course, as well. After actually, Santiago Solari got sacked from Real Madrid. He only had a really, really short tenure with Real Madrid. He was only their caretaker manager, was Santiago Solari, as I currently said. He initially actually agreed a new contract with Real Madrid until 2021, did Santiago Solari's caretaker manager, but he currently got sacked. So now Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed as Real Madrid manager. He has signed a contract with Real Madrid until 2022, as well as Zinedine Zidane. But he's obviously he's the only coach to win back-to-back Champions League titles, because he won 3 successive Champions League titles with Real Madrid. When he was managing them from 2016 to 2018 as well. And I thought it was destined to go and manage in the Premier League. Zinedine Zidane. There was a lot of talks that he was linked to he was linked to come and manage in the Premier League, Zinedine Zidane, because it would have been good for him to come and experience the Premier League, because he's never played in the Premier League. He's never managed in the Premier League as well. well. But the only team he really managed, obviously, as only managed, has obviously, been Real Madrid. He obviously played for Real Madrid when he was a player as well. He played for Juventus as a player. Where did Zinedine Zidane? But obviously, Real Madrid were struggling. When Zinedine Zidane left. But obviously now he's been reappointed back in. I think Real Madrid will be a very, very consistent team again, as I currently said. But obviously, Zinedine Zidane is obviously already planning, for investment in the summer, of course. Well, just out of the blue, he's identified Paul Pogba as a possible summer target as well. But I think Paul Pogba's happy at Manchester United because he's getting the best out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, and as well as he's been in absolutely fantastic form. He had one bad game, which was obviously the Arsenal game, did Paul Pogba. But apart from that, he's been absolutely fantastic indeed. So we wouldn't want to lose him anywhere. Obviously, we know there's still some contract renewals to sort out as well, so we need to sort that out as well. But for me, Solskjaer, definitely the right man for Manchester United, without a shadow of a doubt, because since he's come to Manchester United, he's done absolutely fantastic indeed. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the performances have been really, really good. The results have been very, very positive as well for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he's done, for Manchester United. He's getting the best out of this team, and he's done really, really well as Solskjaer. He's obviously progressed us to the last eight of the FA Cup. He's obviously progressed us to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is very, very good indeed. We've only had suffered one defeat in the Premier League as well. I think we've played how many have we played now? 18, so we've won 14 out of 18 in all competitions since Solskjaer's come in. We've drawn 2, lost 2 in all competitions as well. We've been absolutely fantastic away from home. We've been better away from home than we have been at home as well. But I think Solskjaer is on the brink of getting the Manchester United job on a permanent basis. As I said, I think Manchester United will come to an agreement, to give him the job on a permanent basis during the international break, because obviously the international break is coming up very, very soon as well. As I did say, his contract is going to be a 4-year contract with Manchester United, as we all currently know. His contract is going to be a 4-year contract. As he did allegedly say in the Mirror the other week, it's going to be worth around 30 million plus bonuses involved as well. This is probably for achieves any silverware as Manchester United manager or something like this. His annual salary is going to be around 7.5 million, of course, as we all know as well. So his annual salary is going to be around 7.5 million. So he's happy to accept half of currently Jose Mourinho's wage, because obviously Jose Mourinho was on 15 million a year. Solskjaer's going to reportedly get around 7.5 million a year. So Solskjaer's happy to accept a lower wage package, than what currently Jose Mourinho was on as well. And it is a 4-year contract. And obviously Man United have got a pay compensation package to mould of around 7 or 8 million, to give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis. Because initially we've paid 1.8 million at the moment, to get him on a temporary basis as well. Solskjaer did confirm his contract has expired with his former club Molde managed. He confirmed this in actually, his press conference before the Arsenal game, because obviously Solskjaer believes that he can't currently have 2 contracts in the process as well. So he just believes that he's under contract with Manchester United at the moment as well. But Manchester United themselves want to announce Solskjaer's Manchester United manager permanently, by the end of this month, of course, as well. So by the time we play Watford, which is obviously, our next league game, he should be appointed Manchester United manager on a full-time basis as well, should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, he's done a really, really good job as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I do what I also like about Solskjaer, he's not reluctant to give the young players a chance. It's good that he's giving the young players a chance, and it's good that the young players are gaining Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trust, which is very, very good indeed. And he's the right man for Manchester United. I know he hasn't as yet, got a great managerial pedigree, in terms of winning any kind of a silver or of winning any major honours or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I do believe he can get this team back to being a competitive elite level football club, as I said, and I think he can start winning trophies at Manchester United. Obviously, we know that we need to get new additions to the club in the summer, as I currently said, but yeah, I do believe it can happen, as I said, and I think he's the right man for Manchester United. Of course, he knows everything about the club. He knows the club inside out. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? He was a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. Scored 126 goals in all competitions. He won trophies, including 6 Premier League titles as well, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he flourished as a player under Alex Ferguson, for 11 years, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And, since he's coming as well, he's made history in the Premier League as well. One of his most iconic moments now as manager is obviously in the Champions League as well. That was very, very good against Paris Saint-Germain. And, we made history in the Champions League as well. So that was obviously one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's iconic moments now as Manchester United manager, just like he did when he was a player 20 years ago. One of his most iconic moments was obviously when he scored against Bayern Munich in the 1999 final as well. So he has brought the fear factor back to the club as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't forget, we have had a lot of injuries as well. But the good news is, players are starting to recover from injury now, which is the most important thing. Wait that a minute. Which is the most important thing, guys, as I currently said. As I did say as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually identified, the areas where he thinks, allegedly, where he thinks Manchester United need to strengthen up. So he did say Man United, he thinks they need a right back. He's discussed this with Manchester United. He thinks we need a right back. He thinks we need a left back. He thinks we need an attacking midfielder. And he also thinks, we need a right winger, of course, as well. So they are the four areas that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified, where Manchester United need to strengthen up. Well, I do agree, maybe with a right back, of course, as well, because obviously we've got Ashley Young, of course, who's aging up at Manchester United now, as we all know. He's aged, 33 years, Ashley Young. He's too old now, he's Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. And obviously, we did trigger that, we did give him a 1 year extension on his current contract, Ashley Young. This is his 7th, 8th season now at Manchester United, or something like that, Ashley Young's as well. But, he's getting too old now. We know, mainly, he's obviously our first choice right back, is Ashley Young, as I said. And obviously, he's won everything here domestically in English football, as I said. But he's aging up now, is Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. Of course, Valencia is leaving Manchester United in the summer, as we all currently know as well. He's on his way out of Manchester United in the summer, as well as Antonio Valencia. Because obviously, we opted against a decision, to trigger that 1 year extension on his current contract as well. And obviously, his contract comes to an end in the summer. He's currently injured at the moment with a calf injury. Is Antonio Valencia as it stands. So I think he's leaving in the summer as well. But when actually Valencia, I know Valencia is going to leave in the summer probably. When Young leaves as well, obviously this will allow Diego Dalot, to get more of an opportunity at that right back position. Because obviously recently we've actually been playing Diego Dalot in Dalot, if you pronounce his name. We've actually been playing in more of an attacking position, Diego Dalot. And to be quite fair, his performances have been very, very good. When he actually has been playing on that right winger, Diego Dalot. So potentially he hasn't got really the experience yet. He's still very, very young, is Diego Dalot. He's only 19, 20 years of age. So potentially we'll probably do need a right back, to Cronus, because Valencia is on his way out of the club in the summer. Young will probably leave, when his 1 year extension is up, which is in the summer of 2020. He will probably leave as well. Will Ashley Young as well. And I think Valencia's 33 as well. I think Valencia and Ashley Young are actually the same age. Of course, left back. I think at left back, we're quite okay, to be quite honest with you, because I think on the left hand side, that's mainly where all our attacks coming from, mainly, from that left hand side. I think Luke Shaw, is doing really, really well. He's hitting that ground running at that left back position. Is Luke Shaw, and I think he's still a very, very good player. And he's still kind of young, Luke Shaw, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I know he's known for injuries in the past. He's suffered a lot of injuries. He's had a couple as a Manchester United player, as Luke Shaw. Since we got him from Southampton, he suffered the similar sort of thing, when he was at Southampton, Luke Shaw. But I think this season his progression's been fantastic. He's showing that determination. He can play from the back and he gallops forward. And I think he does make some good overlapping runs on the left hand side as well, does Luke Shaw. But obviously we know he's our first choice left back as well. And attacking midfield, I don't think we mainly need an attacking midfielder, to be quite honest with you. I think we probably only maybe need an attacking midfield if Paul Pogba did leave Manchester United in the summer. That's when obviously, we'd need an attacking midfielder, to be quite honest with you. I think we need more of a defensive midfielder, to be quite honest with you, than we do an attacking midfielder, to be quite honest with you. Because, as I did say, obviously, there's been one player, there's been a lot of rumours going on, obviously, in relation to Philip Coutinho as well. And his name's been going on in the past couple of days. But I don't think Manchester United are interested in signing Philip Coutinho, because I don't think the attacking midfield is one of the areas where we actually need to strengthen up. And obviously Philip Coutinho is actually mainly an attacking midfield. I think he can actually operate as a winner as well, can Philip Coutinho, as we all currently know. But as reports have been coming out in the last couple of days, he's reportedly interested in a move to Manchester United. Reportedly is Philip Coutinho. Reports did say that reportedly there has been some kind of contact. So reports did say that reportedly Philip Coutinho has spoken to some of our players players, regarding a move to Old Trafford in the summer. And, there was a narrative going on about it back in the January transfer window that Manchester United, of course, had showed an interest. Man United had held negotiations with Barcelona in the January transfer window as well. But do you think he's the solution, to our problems? No, because he's mainly an attacking midfielder. Solskjaer allegedly said he's identified that area that does need strengthening up, but I don't think we need an attacking midfielder, to be quite honest with you. And Coutinho's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Barcelona, to be quite honest with you. He's been there just over a year, of course, as well, and he struggled for game time, he struggled to fit in the team, and he's failed to replicate the form, that he did at Liverpool, because when he was at Liverpool, he had 5 great years at Liverpool. His link-up play was good, he was scoring goals, he was providing and all that as well, and he's failed to do this at Barcelona. And Barcelona paid £142 million for him. Of course, from Liverpool in January of last year, Barcelona paid £142 million to him. I still think he's got a long contract with Barcelona as well as Philippe Coutinho, but he is a good, really, really good player. He just hasn't proven this at Barcelona, of course, and obviously Barcelona aren't going to, if he does score in the summer, obviously Barcelona aren't going to recoup the initial £142 million, they did pay for him as well. I think he's rated at around £100 million or something like this, as well as Coutinho. But reports do say I think he's interested in making a return back to the Premier League, because I think Coutinho actually misses the Premier League. But as I did currently say, Liverpool would reportedly lose millions. If Coutinho does leave Barcelona and comes back to the Premier League, they'd lose millions in clauses, would Liverpool, reports do say as well. So there has been rumours going on about that as well. We know, obviously, there's a big game coming up at the weekend. The preview will be coming up for that, tomorrow, without a shadow of a doubt. It probably will be tomorrow night, the Wolves Manchester United preview as well. Obviously, it was a disappointing result, against Arsenal, to quite honest with you, but we still had 7 players out, in that Arsenal game. We have had a lot of injuries, to quite fair, but I think now players are starting, to come back from injury, which is very, very good news indeed. Wolves at the weekend is not going to be an easy game, as we all currently know. I'd love, probably will Lukaku get another chance this weekend against Wolves, because Lukaku, to be fair, has been in really, really good form for Manchester United, to be quite honest. He's got a good pedigree in the Premier League overall. His ratio is very, very good. We know he's slow. We do have strong reservations about Romelu Lukaku, but his form's been really, really good recently, because I think him and Rashford have looked really, really good together as up front, as a partnership, to be quite honest. And I think Lukaku looks more effective, when he's got someone supporting him up front, like Marcus Rashford, as I said. So Lukaku's performances have been very, very good. Initially, Lukaku did lose his place in the team initially, but obviously due to his string of injuries, Man United have suffered in the most recent weeks. The injuries have suffered. Lukaku's been given more of an opportunity, and I think he's performed very, very well. To be quite honest with you, as I said, and he was our best player against Arsenal, was Lukaku. He created chances. We created a lot of chances in that game. We just didn't put them away. Lukaku should have had at least 2 goals against Arsenal as well. So he was unlucky in that game. A lot of people talk about Lukaku, bottling in the big games. Initially, we paid 75 million for him. If Man United do decide to sell him in the summer, obviously we'll look to recoup the initial 75 million pounds. We did pay for him back from Everton as well. But I think it looks very, very effective. When he's getting support for someone, not reliable enough when he's playing up top on his own, because you can't rely on Lukaku to make all them sprints, get them runs in behind as well. So I've been impressed there with his performances. So probably should be in contention, to actually play against Wolves. He may not, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself's been impressed there with Lukaku's form, so I think he'll get given the chance against Wolves. Hopefully as well, Herrera will return for the Wolves game as well, because Solskjaer said that he hopes that Ander Herrera can make it for the Wolves game as well, because Herrera, obviously, regardless of the injury he's had, before he got injured, his performances have been very, very good, and he has been fitting in that midfield trio very, very well. As Ander Herrera, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, he's been fitting in that midfield trio very, very well. He's been breaking up the play very, very well, and he's been starting more regularly from the start, and he's been, participating very, very well as Ander Herrera, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract term as well, because he does deserve it, based on his fantastic performances, and this is his 5th season now with Manchester United, and of course he has been out with a hamstring injury as Ander Herrera as well. But if he can make it for the Wolves game on Saturday, Solskjaer can go with a midfield trio that he's mainly been going with, obviously, before we got all these injuries, because obviously his first choice in that midfield is obviously Herrera, Matic and Pogba as a a midfield trio, of course, as well. And Ander Herrera will hopefully be back from injury at the weekend. Of course, Lingard, of course, has had a hamstring injury as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, he can be involved against Wolves as well. Jesse Lingard, because he's been when he has been playing Jesse Lingard, he's mainly been first choice, and he has looked very very good on that right hand side. To be quite honest with you, as Jesse Lingard, he shows the ability to attack. He provides pace to Jesse Lingard. He can put crosses into the box sometimes, and he can give good service, to that front man as well. Can Jesse Lingard, as I currently said, and he's still very very young in his generation. He's Jesse Lingard, so he has been a miss for Manchester United as well. But he's obviously had a hamstring injury. Not Martial, sorry. Juan Mata, of course, obviously has got a hamstring injury as well. Could there be a possibility he could be involved against Wolves at the weekend as well, Juan Mata? Because actually, I've been impressed when he has been given the chance, Juan Mata. I know he's slow and he's 30, and he has lost that yard of pace, Juan Mata, but I still think he's a very very consistent player for Manchester United. Is Juan Mata, because he has been in the Premier League a lot of years now, as we all currently know as Juan Mata. So he's still a very, very consistent player. This is his fifth season now at Manchester United, of course. We paid around £40 million for him Chelsea, but overall he's been in the Premier League a lot of years. Obviously, this was including his 3 years he had at Chelsea as well. He actually won the Champions League with Chelsea, but the only thing he hasn't won is the Premier League, Juan Mata, and that's the only trophy Juan Mata has currently not won, as I currently said at the moment. But yeah, he's currently got a hamstring injury at the moment. Of course, I think Sanchez is on his way out of Manchester United in the summer as well, without a shadow of a doubt. There has reports saying that Man United are considering, sanctioning Alexis Sanchez off on loan in the summer, reportedly, because obviously, due to the extortionate wages he's getting at Manchester United, it may be hard for Manchester United, to find a buyer for Alexis Sanchez. Of course, he's really struggled to make an impact at Manchester United because he's been here just over a year. Now he's just recently suffered an injury. He's got a knee injury, so he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Is Alexis Sanchez as well. Before, he's had a couple of hamstring injuries as well. So his Manchester United career just gets worse and worse and worse. And I think he's definitely on his way out in the summer, because I think Solskjaer's happy for Manchester United to axe him off, and I think Solskjaer's lost faith in Sanchez. He's lost trustworthy in Alexis Sanchez as well, and I do think he'll end up losing that number 7 shirt, to be quite honest with you anyway, Alexis Sanchez, to be quite honest, because he just performances when he has been given the chance just hasn't been good enough whatsoever. Sanchez is, as I said, so I think he's on his way out of Manchester United unless somewhere along the line, we can come to some kind of agreement. And unless Sanchez, probably maybe takes a wage cut or something like that, so Manchester United can find a buyer rather than let him going out on loan, as I currently said. But I think he's lost his place initially in the team anyway. Either way now, because obviously Martial's now back from injury, and obviously Martial's a lot younger than Alexis Sanchez, and Martial's got pace. Sanchez has lost that yard of pace, of course, as well. But Sanchez is nowhere near the player he currently was Arsenal, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. So the preview probably will be coming up for that tomorrow night, as I said. But the breaking news, as I have been updating you on a regular basis, is in relation to Jadon Sancho. According to the Borussia Dortmund sporting director, he believes he's dismissed speculations linked in with a move to Manchester United and all that, because he actually believes, does the Borussia Dortmund sporting director, he will stay in Germany, will Jadon Sancho. So he believes that Jadon Sancho, will remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund. Reports did say Man United are ready to make a move for him. Manchester United are prepared to pay up to a staggering £100 million for a young 18-year-old in Jadon Sancho as well. And obviously now in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, he's no intentions now of bringing a central defender to Manchester United in the summer, as obviously now that wing position is our top priority reportedly as well. So that's obviously now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's top priority area, to strengthen up is that wing position reportedly as well, because obviously Solskjaer said in terms of in terms of that central defensive area, in that defensive area, he said he wants to give everybody the chance, to improve and prove themselves as well. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said in this scenario as well. So yeah, that's mainly everything to update you with. What do you think of the Jadon Sancho rumours that are going on? They've been going on for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, and the rumours probably will continue to persist. Jadon Sancho linked with a move to Old Trafford, but I don't know if he'll leave Dortmund. According to the director, he won't. The director believes he'll stay with Borussia Dortmund. But if Man United say there's £100 million for him in the summer, this has got to convince Borussia Dortmund, to offload him. Considering that they only paid 7 or 8, what was it, 8 million or 7 million, whatever it was for Manchester City. Financially, they'd make a huge profit on Jadon Sancho. But Borussia Dortmund know still how much an essential player he is to their team, of course, as well. But Solskjaer now has no intentions of being a central defender in the summer, even though that's obviously one of the areas where we do obviously know that we need to bolster up as well. Because obviously he knows that we've improved defensively, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, since he's coming, and especially away from home, defensively, we've looked very good as well. So Solskjaer is probably focusing on attacking additions instead of focusing on getting a central defender in as well. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. We'll be back with we'll come up with a Wolves Manchester United preview tomorrow evening, something like that as well. Get a bit more news, see if there's any possibility that Herrera could be involved, or Lingard or Mata out. We'll update you as I said. So anyway, drop your comments, like below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribing, as always.